My name is Ashley Friend, and today we're going to be hearing the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Okay, so you think you know the story of the Three Little Pigs, right? But the truth is, you don't know the real version of the story because you've never heard my version of the story. You see, I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf, but you can call me Al. I'm not really sure how this whole big bad wolf thing got started. Maybe it's because of what we eat. I guess, you know, if cheeseburgers were cute and fuzzy like bunnies, then people would think you were big and bad too. Anyway, the real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Way back and once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear sweet granny. You see, she was sick and had a cold, but I was making her birthday cake and I realized that I ran out of sugar. Now, what do you do when you run out of sugar? What do you do when you run out of sugar?
You ask your neighbor for something.
Oh, you ask your neighbor, so that's what I did. So I got my measuring cup and I started down the road. So I went to my first neighbor's house, and I should tell you a little bit about this neighbor. You see, he was a pig. And he probably wasn't the smartest pig I've ever met because his house was made entirely out of straw. I mean, who makes their house out of straw? So of course, when I knocked on the door, the front door fell right in. So I didn't want to be impolite and just walk in, so I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in there?" He didn't answer, so I called one more time, "Mr. Pig," but it was in the middle of that second call that I felt a little sneeze coming on. See, I have bad allergies, especially to straw, and I started to sneeze. So, achoo! It was a big, giant sneeze, and you would not believe this, but his house fell right in, and right there in the middle of the straw was what? The pig, dead as a doornail. He was there the whole time. Well, I wasn't sure what to do, you see. There was a perfectly good dinner just lying there staring at me in the straw. And I didn't want to waste good food, so I did the only thing there was to do. I ate him up. But anyway, now I know what you're thinking. I know it sounds bad, but think of it as a cheeseburger just lying there staring at you. You would eat him up too, right? Of course. So anyway, I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I walked down to the next neighbor's house, right? So I'm walking, and I should tell you a little bit about this pig. See, he was the first pig's brother, and he was a pig too. He had made his house out of sticks, so he was maybe a little smarter than the first pig, but not much. Now, we need to be more specific here. It was not a log cabin. It was a stick cabin. That is not very sturdy. Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Okay, so I went up to the stick house, and I knocked on the door. I said, "Mr. Pig, are you in there?" And do you know what he said? He said, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." He was not a very nice wolf. I was about to reach for the door handle, but then I felt a sneeze coming on. Now, I guess my allergies had really gotten to me, so I huffed. I tried to keep it in, I really did. And I snuffed, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And do you know what happened? His house fell down just like his brother's. I cannot believe this. And right in the middle of the sticks was the second pig, dead as a doornail. Now, what did I do? I thought about it. I really did. But think of it like a second helping. You know, when your mom makes you your favorite food and you just need more. So I didn't want to let good food go to waste. I ate him up again. Anyway, so I still didn't have my cup of sugar for my dear sweet granny. So I walked to the last house on the street. Now, this was the first and the second little pig's brother, and he must have been the brains of the outfit because he had made his house out of bricks, okay? So I walked up to the house and I knocked on the door. "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in there?" And do you know what? He said, he said, Go away, wolf. You can't come in. Don't bother me again. Now, that is impolite. I was starting to feel that sneeze coming on because I was getting a little upset. He was being so rude. And then I was about to sneeze, and then do you know what he said? He said, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I am usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I get a little bit crazy. Of course, when the cops showed up, I was huffing and puffing and trying to break this guy's door in, and the rest is history. So, the newspaper reporters showed up, and of course my story about sneezing a cup of sugar from my dear sweet granny was pretty boring, so they jazzed up the whole story with huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me into the big bad wolf. So that's the whole story. I was framed. But maybe you could give me a cup of sugar?